Hey everybody, D Amazing here, bringing you a review of the Sentinel Re-edit Iron Man, designed by Chemical Attack, and it's the first of the series from Sentinel doing Iron Man. First off, I want to start by saying this figure is absolutely amazing. But that's why I'm doing a review in the first place, right? To tell you guys. Some of you guys have seen it on my Facebook and my Instagram. Straight up, I did a quick shot, and it was already amazing because of the LED unit. But we're going to get into that later. First off, the bleeding edge armor is a comic book armor, not a movie armor. And although they've made some adjustments that weren't seen in the comics, I thought they were pretty much nailed it based off the schematics of it. But the big thing about this is that normally toy companies outside of Hasbro don't get to do comic book armors, comic book costumes, anything like that. So this is kind of a big deal. So I just wanted to touch up on that. So hopefully we'll see more stuff in the future. All right. Real quick, we're going to talk about the articulation, the immaculate paint job, and things like that. Outright, this figure is beautifully, beautifully done, hands down, all around. The paint job is perfect. I haven't had any problems with it, not with the LEDs, not scratching. The figure actually dropped once because of my cat scaring the crap out of me. But look, it's still perfectly fine. It looks fantastic. It looks great. But outside of that, let's jump into articulation. Now, the funny thing about this in Sentinel is that they do an excellent job with articulation. So even though this is an Iron Man armor, it's not a Hasbro figure, it is literally stunning what you can do to it. So I just want to point out that you can literally get all this articulation out of the figure. Amazing ab crunch as well. The head flops all the way down. So also, I want to touch up on the fact that it has inner workings of an actual armor mechanics. So when you slide the leg in, it folds in. And I really do appreciate that. The flaps on the side move up as you actually put stuff up and down. Alright, arm articulation. Now, don't worry about that. That was me doing it. Now, arm articulation. I'm going to move in. I want to point out double joint elbow, arm rotates in because there is joints right here. The armor has its own ball joint. Wrist rotation. Now the only reason the wrist rotation is limited right here is because I actually put on the extra piece ahead of time because I didn't want to beat around the bush. But I'm gonna leave one on and one off. So there's a flap right here for this to go up and down. It's double jointed. And there's bicep swivel. Full 100, not 100, 360 degrees, sorry. 180 degrees, only half. I'm not crazy. But I'm going to fold the head back up. As far as legs, now this is a really weird and new joint because it's not SH Fig Arts. But you can rotate in and out. Also, you can rotate to the top part at the side. If you get what I mean, it's more like a flexi bone joint where you can actually rotate it up and in or outward and down. The shoulder arm is actually pretty much perfect. And like I said, the articulation on this is absolutely amazing. I absolutely love this figure. Same goes for back here. If you're actually like folding, I don't know if you can see it, but when you fold the joint in, is technology that'll actually show it folding in and out. It's absolutely amazing. As far as posing goes, it can get a ton of poses. Seriously, like a ton of them. But as far as accessories and what it comes with, the reason why, like I said, I left one of the wrist pieces on. Here's one of the wrist joints right here, which you easily slide into the ball joint of the hand. So you can do the bleeding edge beam weaponry based off repulsor technology, just like in the comics. And off screen, I'm going to snap it in so I can show you. It's a real easy snap in. But under the wrist, it goes on just like this. And voila. And the same I'm going to do for this side so you can absolutely see me do it. So you see, it's just as easy for him to do the same. Really cool stuff. Now, absolutely, this figure is outright amazing. I can't wait for you guys to see the pictures that I'm going to do. Now, the number one question, and this is a running joke that I have going on with everybody, is it in scale with Marvel Legends? The answer is absolutely no. It actually towers over Marvel Legends. The figure's about 8-9 inches Here it is next to Spider-Man, towering over Spider-Man, like literally towering over him. And we have an SH Fig Arts. I use Trial a lot because it's always on display. And that is the re-edit Iron Man compared to a Marvel Legends Spider-Man and an SH Fig Arts Kamen Rider. His size is huge, but still totally worth it. So for all you guys that only collect Marvel Legends, it's time to come out your comfort zone. Because this is not going to be something that you're used to. Next up, I want to get into the fact that he comes with a really cool base accessory. So I'm going to put you off to the side for a second. Now, here's his stand. You don't see the whole thing because it's adjustable. But it has its own leg and arm. It rotates, opens, holds him pretty well. It actually holds him up in the air if you want it to. So, you're going to hold this open. And voila, see? They can hold him up in the air. Now, the real cool thing about this base, though, is that you can easily replace this part. And it comes with a Hall projection piece. Sorry, kind of fell apart off screen. You're going to plug it into these 3 prongs here. And voila. Just like that. Don't mind my background. But just like that, you see the screen projection piece here. So, now there is one huge difference though. If you happen to be in Hong Kong and was at the Tokyo Seoul Show and you got this about 3-4 weeks ago, there is a schematic actually built into this one. So there is a bleeding edge imprint into this. So that's the difference between the normal version and the Tokyo Seoul version, which was limited to about 800 pieces. Was it 800? I'm gonna have to backtrack later. I can't remember if it was 500 or 800. But yeah, that's the cool thing about the base. Also, this underpart is actually removable. So if you want, you can also add LEDs in the bottom. So you can make a bullseye too. So that's really cool about this. Also, just in case you didn't notice, that is a repulsor. It's definitely the Tony Stark, repulsor technology. Now, this is for the part that everybody's been waiting for. Straight up, okay, the LED part. Now, on this backside, let me zoom in. Now, on the backside of Iron Man, and you saw that piece fall over earlier in the review, you remove the back part of the spinal tap is what I'm going to call it, and you flip a little switch up. I don't know if you guys can see it, but in the back right here, it's already lit up. So voila. Just in case you guys can't see it properly or you don't think it's lit up enough, what I'll do is I'll cut the lights off. And voila. You simply have Iron Man glowing in the dark with repulsor technology. So, just want to point out real quick, 1 second. What you don't want to do, and this is the number one thing you don't want to do. You do not want to pull the figurehead up. You can't swap the joints. Please do not try to swap the joints. You can't do it. Don't try to take his torso off. Don't do that. It even tells you in the really nice instruction booklet that you get, which I'm going to show you in 1 sec. So even in the instruction book, it'll warn you. It'll literally say, no pulling, please. No pulling on A and B. And the reason why that is because there's LED units built into it. You don't want to pull or fracture these parts because you can damage wiring and ruin your figure. You can cause battery leakage, which will leak through your figure. All these are problems that you can cause simply by pulling way too hard. It's actually very easy to rotate any joints you may want to. Me, I'm really strong, so I happen to try to be double gentle. You may want to do the same. Is the frigate fragile? No, not too much. But for all the money you've paid for it, you may want to be a tad bit more careful. Now, real quick, as I was saying, in the spinal tap, there's a light switch. If you don't have nails, try to use your pinky and easily tap it down to cut the light off. LEDs, from what I've seen, are in the back of the head, the eyes, and the chest. Most of the time, the paint job is so reflective and done well is that it'll transfer to the hands. Most of the time, if you have good lighting. One more thing I wanted to add, if you have a tiny Phillips head screwdriver, well, actually, no, it's not a Phillips. Oh, yeah, it's a Phillips. If you have a tiny Phillips head screwdriver, you take out this to replace the batteries. The type is LR44 batteries. You can usually find them at Radio Shack. They're really expensive, about 10 to 15 bucks. You get a 4-pack. Real quick, I'm going to get into the hands real fast. Then I'm going to show you guys the box. So, for every hand I show you, there's an equal opposite hand. So, there is the open... Oops. There's open flight hand, normal relaxed hand, repulsor hand, repulsor open hand, or what I would say action hand, flight / repulsor hand. This one's flat. And all these hands you come with, like I said, he also comes with the bleeding edge beam saber weaponry. I'm going to put his spinal tap back on. And as far as accessories, that's all that he comes with. But he is well worth it. That's, you know, the base. Now, me personally, I dropped a significant amount of money on it. If you pre-ordered it, you could have got it anywhere between, like 180 and 200 shipped. If it was expensive, being as some people probably got discounts, I found them at Japanese sites, it could be a little less. But most likely it's sold out now if you didn't pre-order. So the best you're probably going to pay is anywhere between 180 and 220. Which, you know, it goes to show you that's what you got to pay for technology, stuff like this. Ooh. Here I am, you're rambling on, and you can't see Iron Man. Sorry about that. But, you know, it is what it is, and you guys can choose what you want to do with it. Me, personally, I'm giving the figure a solid 10 out of 10. The figure is perfect. Don't care if it's in scale Marvel Legends, because no, it is not in scale Marvel Legends. And all those people out there who want to make the joke, I love you guys. I love you guys so much. But, again, this figure is a perfect 10 out of 10, in my opinion. I see nothing wrong with the figure. If you see something wrong with it, hey, go to show you that everybody has their differences. But this is a solid figure on each and every end that I've seen it from. It's not fragile. It's not one of those things that limit articulation. It's a solid piece. Do I wish it was die-cast? Hell yeah. But it's not. But it's still a great figure. Hands down, thanks again. Solid figure. It's not in scale with Marvel Legends, but still great. Special thanks to the guys over at Anime for getting me this as quickly as possible. Also, one more thing. I don't know if you guys noticed, but if you visit Sentinel's website, they show you that there are more armors on the way. So try to take a look and guess which one it is. I already know what it is, but I'm not going to tell you guys. Alright, you guys have a good one. Later.